Hey, Edson Matthews here to talk about how to take out the and replace the light seals on a film camera. I want to talk about what I've done so far. First, this is just a chopstick from a Chinese restaurant, and I've sharpened it to create a nice edge to scrape out the light seals that are in there. And you can see I've done the lower channel here, and this is the junk that's come out of it. Very old light seal, needs to be replaced. Before I started scraping out the light seals, I put some Scotch tape over top of the film bay here, just to make sure that I didn't get any down in where the lens is. But that's just added insurance. You don't need to do that to actually clean out the light seals. And I'm going to start right now on this little channel here, and all I'm going to do is just stick my tool down in there, and you can see just scraping that out. Once I get the camera scraped out, these sticky spots here, I'll go over that probably with either rubbing alcohol or even lighter fluid will work to get some of this stuff out, and I'll just scrape that out before I lay in the light seals. This camera, by the way, is a Konica C35 Auto. Okay, I've gotten all the major bits of foam out, and you can see all those big chunks over here. And you can see that the channels here are silver now. All that foam is out of there now. There's still some really sticky foam bits in here. And you can see the adhesive right here. See the adhesive where they glued the foam down. These sticky bits here are in some real tight spots. So for this I'm going to use, this is just a micro screwdriver set. And a great and necessary kit for camera repair. I'm just going to take a this plain flathead screwdriver there and get in and clean out these final bits. And then once all these really tight spots are clean the way I want them to be clean, I'll take a solvent, as I said, probably just some rubbing alcohol, and clean those out, and then we'll be ready at that point to put in the new light seals. Alright, I've started the process of cleaning the areas where all the foam were. And all I'm using are Q-tips, probably going to dirty a bunch of these, and using just rubbing alcohol. Just takes a little elbow grease on some of these. Some of them need to soak a little bit, and then you can mop them up pretty easily. But it's, you know, this isn't rocket science. This is probably the easy part when it comes to light seal replacement. All right, the cleaning of all the channels here is all done now, and I wanted to point out this channel here was particularly hard to clean. This channel was a piece of cake, but this little one was harder to clean. All I did with the Q-tip was I pulled the cotton swab off after I had finished using it, and then I just dunked this end in the rubbing alcohol, and I actually had to crimp this to make it narrower, and then so I crimped it first and then put it in the rubbing alcohol, and then it fit down in there, and I was able to clean that channel out. So everything's clean now. Side of the camera is all clean, and now I'm ready to cut my light seals. And I'm not going to cut the light seals on camera, except just to give this piece of advice here. It's the old adage that you measure twice and you cut once. So I'm going to take some very careful measurements of everything in the bay that I need to put light seals in, and that includes these raised areas here. So the light seal is going to come all the way up the wall here, not just on the flat part. I have to put light seals in here, and then in here, and then in here again. And I'm probably going to put another light seal right here on this little barrier right here. There was a light seal there. It was in horrible shape, but there was a light seal, a little bit of a light seal there. Then, once I measure those out and I cut the strips for all that, I'll come back and we'll lay these things in. Okay, I've cut my foam strips here, and I've already installed one of them, but these are the foam strips that I have left to install. And I've already put the foam strip in here, and this is the backing from the foam strip there. I peeled a little bit of it off to expose a little bit of the adhesive, and then got it stuck in there. Pressed a little bit of it into the track, then peeled off the rest of the backing. And I'm using these precision tweezers here, which work really well. And then once I got it laid into the track, I used my scraping tool to push on the foam again to make sure that it's all stuck well into that groove there. So I'm going to do a couple of them on camera here. We'll start with the big groove. Got my foam, and I'm just going to peel back the backing to it. And I'm just going to use that end to get my strip going into the channel well. I want to find out where I want it to go in the channel here. I set it a little low, so I'm going to pull that up. There we go. And I'm just going to push on that a little bit to get it seated. Now I can take off the rest of the backing. And the reason why I just wait to take off the backing is it's really sticky stuff. I don't want it to stick to everything while I'm trying to work with it. And this is, of course, the easy one. This one on the end, on the other side there, was much harder to deal with. I'm just going to lay this in very carefully. I'm not pushing down real hard, but I'm just laying it in. I just want it to be straight. Pull off the rest of the backing and just lay that in there very gently. Very gently, and now I'm rounding up the back curve here, pressing into the corner. I want to make sure that it's not buckled there, but that it's actually seated all the way around that corner. So I push on the flat side and then push up, 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 up until I get up to the top there. And then once it's in like that, I take my tool and I'm just going to give it some harder pushes here to actually push that adhesive into the metal there. Let that adhesive get a good stick on the metal. All right, that looks good. Okay, and the next one's going to be a little harder. This is the This is the larger end piece that goes right here. This one's going to be harder because I have to clear the cover latch right here, and it's going to have a big sticky backing to stick to lots of things. So that's where these tweezers are going to come in handy. So I'll peel the backing on this. Got to be careful to clear the wall. Oops. There we go. All right. And once it's in there where I want it to be, I'm just going to hold that like that. Just hold that in place, get my tweezers off. Okay. That's good. That's good in there. And I'm going to take the tweezers and just give that a little squeeze down at the bottom of the, down here. And just give it a little squeeze to get it into place. Where I want it to be. Made sure that the ends of that piece are either overlapping or very, very close to. It's a little overlapped on this side, and it's flush up against the foam on this side to create that nice tight seal that I want. I'm going to do that again with this part right back here, and then I have a little strip to go right here where the hinge is, to make sure that this area in particular is light tight. So that's how it's done. You've seen me do those two strips. That's basically the idea for the shorter strips and for the long channels. For this narrow channel right here, it's going to be harder to get that in there. Those really thin pieces are difficult. They want to twist. They want to stick to everything in that narrow channel. And the key thing there is just to be very patient. Go slowly. Use precision tools for that. And like I said, tear off only part of the backing just to get it going. And then once you got it going in the direction you want to go in, use those tweezers to pull the rest of that backing off and put that in where you want it. All right, that's it. Hope that's helpful for you. Don't be afraid to buy a camera when you can get a good deal on it, because the light seals are blown. The light seals here about $4. Camera $15. Great shape. I don't know if I showed this thing off. Look at this. This is in phenomenal shape. Just a really, really, really nice camera there. $15, works perfectly. And like I said, I think I was the only bidder on it. I may have been the only bidder on it because the seller said that the light seals were blown. And here it is. They're fixed. Perfect camera. Okay, the job is done now. You can see as you look around all the channels here, it's nice and black from where the sealing foam is. Camera's going to be light tight. It's ready to go. One thing to mention here is that I'm going to close the door on this and let that camera stay sealed for 24 hours while that adhesive cures to the inside of those channels. It's going to feel tight when I close the camera. And when you close your camera, it's going to feel real tight, but it's supposed to feel tight. That will loosen up with time as the seals get pressed in a little bit. So it'll feel a little tight, but it's okay. You can see photos from this camera as well as other great film cameras that I really love and enjoy shooting over on my Flickr stream, the address of which should be below this video, but it's www.flickr.com/photos/EdsonMatthews/ and that's EdsonMatthews. Make sure you send me an email over on Flickr or a contact request, and I'll see you over there. Until next time, bye-bye.